Good morning, survivors. What are you doing mining? Why are you wasting time mining when you could be building a horde base or looting? Well, this is fantastic, Mr. Ghost. I'm going to go over a comprehensive mining guide. There is a lot to cover. This is for a lot of the new players coming up on console where they weren't on 1.0. Lots changed since then. So I have my pick, and we're going to get ready to go here. The one I need to make a disclaimer here. Number one, this is a save. I am in endgame. So I'm going to be using this save here to mine up some resources to showcase what you normally wouldn't be able to do in a beginning game or a new play, a new playthrough here. So it's very tough in the beginning to do mining, and once you get to this point here, it gets a lot easier. And I wanted to showcase the the advanced stuff, but I do want to showcase a few things that you can do early on which help you avoid mining. So let's get to it. All right, so the first thing I want to cover is not mining. So when you see these chairs lying about, there's also metal folding chairs and whatnot in the world. What you want to do is collect these early on and scrap them. So as you can see, this one chair gives me 15 iron pieces. Scrap iron. So when you're out looting, trying to find that cooking pot, that ever so important cooking pot on your day one to up to whenever you find it, the best thing to do is just scrap the items in the world. Don't waste your time whacking on things and trying to get the resources out of the ground, or better yet, for example, these guardrails here. These are iron as well. See, scrap iron. And early on, you're not going to have the power and the stamina to be spending. You got to get ready for Horde Night, day 7, if you're playing on normal settings. Don't waste your time with a stone axe whacking on these items. Just find the iron in the world. Go around and look as you're looking for that cooking pot.
My senses have picked up something.
We got zombs here. Here they come. So yeah, when you're out looking for items, don't waste your time playing around with, smacking rocks and stuff. Go ahead and just scrap that stuff. There we go. Ooh, I broke a window. So I just got this rifle, or this shotgun, but yeah, I'm not very fast with it. So so that's my first tip of the day here is don't waste your time whacking things. Just scrap it, and you can keep going and looking for loot, for food, whatever, in your first couple days. All right, let's carry on. All right, let's talk about Perk Books here. So under your skills here, we have Perk Books tab and Art of Mining. So early on, you're not going to be able to find these very easily, but when you do, it's going to be great. So you have 2 books that are really important. Of course, you want the whole set, but it's going to take you a long time to find all 7 to complete the set. Now, when you complete the set, you'll notice that you gain 20% more ore from mining there. But the 2 that I really like, if you can find them early on, is number 3 and 7. So you get 10% more ore when buzzed on coffee, and then you also have the mining tools do 10% more block damage. These 2 are really important, and it's random. You can't gauge it. If you find a vendor with these books, hopefully you have the dukes to buy them, but definitely fast track these because mining is a big time sink, and the less time you're spending mining, the better. So 10% more ore when you have coffee in you, and the 10% more block damage is really important. Now, completing the set, as you can see, I did this. This is a normal playthrough. This is not creative mode at all, and I got all 7. And another thing that I want to mention here is strength. So we have these 2 perks right here, Motherload and Minor 69er. These are really tough to get because let's say you want to do a perception build, because that's what I'm doing here. I focused on perception and also agility. Well, I don't want to spend points on strength because I want to build my character up another way, And this is one of the the complaints I have about the perk system that they have in 7 Days to Die, is that they force a player to spread their points over basically all 5 of these disciplines here, with the perception, strength, fortitude, agility, and intelligence. There's things that benefit a single player in all of these disciplines, so you end up having to perk into everything, and so it makes it tough to start out, which is fun and challenging, but it's also frustrating too, because one of the most important things is the Motherload and Minor 69er. Now, I highly recommend taking Tool Nipper for your first perk under the strength, because every one of these disciplines up here, or attributes, you can put 1 point in. They give you 1 free point. So Tool Nipper helps when you're going through POIs, not only in mining, but in POIs when you're smacking crates to get the resources, the random resources in crates. It helps you get, if you want to break into a house and not have to go through the whole house, you can bust through a wall and get in easier. So Tool Nipper is helpful early on. That's not to say that Motherload isn't important. What I'm saying is Minor 69er is helpful in the beginning so that you can do those things that I just mentioned. But definitely you want to take Motherload over time. And as you level up in strength here, these are all equal here. It's 7 points, or level 7 here for both. So if you increase your strength attribute, these two you can take eventually. Now, there is another thing that I want to mention here. Let's get to a gun that's not in my face here. I was looking for a chicken over here. I was sneaking. Now, this is something they introduced in 1.0, which I really like, and that is the themed outfits or armors. So, of course, you're not going to be able to get the legendary stuff like I have here. But once you get the books to build your armor, level 1s, I would highly recommend building the Minor outfit. Now, you want to do whatever your playthrough is first, obviously. If you're playing a sneak character, you want to get, sneak armor, right? Get the assassin armor. But as soon as you get the resources, get your mining stuff done. Now, here is the stats for a Minor helmet legendary. You get 30% more ore harvest, which is amazing. And then you've got the gloves here, which is 50% block damage. So this is like Tool Nipper and Motherload on your body. So what's nice is you don't have to perk into these things early on. Just build the armor and you'll have a little bonus. Now, level 1 isn't equal to level 2. Obviously, it goes up. I think Legendary, for the most part, will double the level 5 stats. And here's another thing that I want to mention is do a full set, because there is a full set bonus. And this one reduces the degradation of mining tools. So always do a full set for your mining gear. Now, while I'm on the topic of, strength and stuff here, before I leave the topic, let's say that, you'll notice that I have a green 6 here. And this is very helpful when you get to the later game, and even, any time in the game, really. So what this allows you to do is perk into something that you normally wouldn't be able to perk into. So, for example, I am level 6, however, I'm not. I'm actually level 5 because I have a cigar. And when you find these things, let's go into my character here, and you'll see on my helmet here, let's modify it. I have an agility mod and a cigar. The cigar gives you +1 to strength, if you click on here, plus it gives you 10% bartering. You may not find this early on, but keep an eye out and always have these mods on hand. They're very tough to find, but you can buy them from vendors when they're available. What this allows you to do is save 3 points, mainly at the end of your run here. So let's say agility, I'm at level 9, or I'm at level 8, but that agility mod in my helmet allows me to be at 9. And what this does is allows you to save 3 points and then be able to distribute those points into some of these higher end things. You don't need to keep that mod in your helmet at all times. You can swap them out. So for example, if you're going out mining, like I am now, what I can do is perk to level 9 and then put the strength mod in my helmet. So I got the cigar right now, so I don't need the strength mod. So if you have a strength mod and or a cigar, put those in. And that will allow you to save 3 points. And then you can put those in Motherload and Minor 69er. Now, when you take the mod out, what happens is this will turn red or whatever, and it will be deactivated. That's fine, because all you need it for is mining. So you can save yourself 3 points in strength just from having a mod in your helmet. And the same goes for all these other ones too. Perception, strength, fortitude, agility, and intelligence. They have all these +1 point mods that you can throw on your helmet. They also have an XP gainer mod, which I use sometimes, but not all the time. But it has a loot bonus on that one. It also decreases the maps or the circle for digging for our treasure. So keep that in mind when you're mining, as well as any other things you're doing. Okay, so let's talk about the tools and mods for the tools here really quick, because some folks may not know what they are, or that they're available. So eventually you start off obviously with a level 1 stone axe. Now you can mod these stone axes just like any other tool or gun or whatever. The higher the tier, the more mods you can put on it. So if we look at my steel pickaxe here, we can modify it. Eventually, you can put all these things in a stone axe, simply put. I think it's 4 mod slots for a level 5 and 6. Here's my axe. As you can see, yeah, it's 4 slots. So level 5 and 6 both have 4 slots, the maximum. So what you want to be looking for, let's take a look at, here's the shovel. Let's go over the shovel, modify. The only thing you need is this structural brace mod. If you find this early on, you can swap it in and out of any tool. Just, it's kind of time consuming, to click. It's like a click fest. But this helps a lot save on resources. So a couple clicks can save you 25% on repair costs. And then you want this grave digger mod. If you find it in the world, definitely throw it on to your stone axe. You could put it on your stone shovel. And then as you get higher up, just, replace it. So then we got our axe here. This mod right here, the Fireman's Axe mod, you have to craft this. I don't think you can find it in the world. It's a schematic. And I like this because an axe I don't use as a weapon. And it's block damage. So it helps chop trees down. And also when you're in POIs trying to get through walls, it helps out a lot there. Then you got obviously the wood splitter mod, 15% more damage against wood. And then, of course, we want to put the degradation thing in. To lower the degradation. And then I got my pick here, modify. Now I have this in here, increase weapons handling of bows, decrease melee damage usage by 10. That's because when I'm mining, chances are a zombie's going to drop down on me. So, I may not be ready, so I'll just whack the zombie with my pick. And then hopefully I stagger them, and I'll switch to a weapon and shoot them. So that's why I put the ergonomic grip mod in here. We got the structural brace as usual. And then eventually you find the bunker buster, 25% more damage against stone, and then 15% more damage against iron for the iron breaker mod. So when you find these, you can put them on your stone axe and all the way on up, iron and steel, and of course. So after the stone axe, we're going to get into the iron stuff, and usually they're pretty tough. You have to perk into it. And then, here it is right here. Not only do you have to perk into it, but you need a workbench, or you need the furnace and then the workbench to make these. Chances are you're going to find a level 1 pick early on as your loot table goes up. So yeah, hang on to that. And you'll find repair kits as well. So use those repair kits for the tools that you can't make. But the iron pick is your next one. And obviously more block damage and whatnot. And then, of course, you got the steel pickaxe, which I have here. And this sucker is a beast. Repair with repair kits, scrap to steel tool parts. So you need steel tool parts to make the steel tools, whereas the iron, all you need is iron ingots. So it's a little nicer, less crap you have to deal with when making the iron tools. And the last thing we have is the auger. I do not use the auger for 2 reasons. One, they're noisy and attract zombies more than when you're picking using the steel pick. And 2, it requires gasoline, and it chews up the gas. Let me tell you, I'd rather, I look at it this way. I save on mining shale oil, I think it's called, in the desert. I'd rather put that in my vehicles to get to the mining than use it for mining. So the pick, the steel pick is the best way to go. And like I said, this thing is noisy. It will attract screamers and zombies. And, there's a way around that, and I'll showcase that when we get out to a mining op. All right, let's cover what I have here in the motorcycle. Now, again, this is a late game, mid-game to late game setup here, so you want to work towards this. I always have these items in my bike, and early on, you're basically going out to, mine up what you can, what you need. You don't want to go too crazy because you got to spend time building your base and getting set up, looting, doing trader missions. So I have these things here, right here. Yeah, let's go like this. Okay, so gasoline for the bike, obviously. And then I have, I made this robotic turret, and chances are you're not going to find this till way late in the game, but I want to showcase it anyway. So I have turret ammo and the turret, and I'll showcase how I use that. Now, I have, obviously, the mining outfit, and when you get that perk book, I have Blackstrap coffee and coffee. Now, the coffee, I find the beans, and I just make the coffee. So I drink this stuff here, but sometimes I'll make Blackstrap coffee just because it lasts longer. But you're fine with regular coffee. Now, up here, I have the repair kits just in case I need it for the bike or the tools. Have wood on hand, and you'll notice that I have the ladder square here. I'll cover that when we get out to a mining op. And then a hammer, because what I'm going to be doing is putting a ladder into the mining op and upgrading the blocks, so you want to have a hammer with you. Early on, you may not be able to afford rock busters, but when you are able to, buy them up every chance you can. They're in vending machines. I think vendors carry them, but it's rare. But always check vending machines. Everywhere you go, always have caps or always have dukes on you to purchase them, because it gives you 20%. Yeah, 20% more ore on your harvest. So I assume all that stacks up. Your mining outfit plus your your rock busters, and then your perks and all that. That should all add up. And the whole goal here is to get more out of that event than normal, right? So you want to maximize your efforts. All right, the last thing I want to cover here is the map, and then we'll get to mining. I'm going to go to a test save because I don't want to upset this save here because I'm going to be talking, and I'm already screwing my time up here on this save here. So let's click on the map here. Now, the map is a very useful tool. You'll notice I have a lot of D's here. That's because I'm using as I'm looting houses, I put an X on there, so just ignore that. So you'll notice that I have some nodes marked here. And these are ones that I've found as I'm traveling around. And I'm like, all right, this is close to base. Let me go ahead and mark it. Now, you can't really see the nodes very easily here, so I'm going to zoom in on it. Now, lead is very difficult to find in the forest biomes, if you will, or pine forests. This right here is a lead node. It's a grayish blue look to it. So keep an eye out for those, because you need a lot of lead in mid-game going into late game for bullet tips. These brown little dots are iron. There's a small stone cropping right there. You can get those, hop off your bike and whack them. But there's the larger ones. They're really big. We'll find one, I'm sure, somewhere around. Those are the ones you want to focus on and mark. So let's go back into our map here. So what I do is I will find a resource. Oh, by the way, this is nitrate right here, this white dot. So we have iron, nitrate. This is lead right here. So let's mark this lead one. There's two. You right click on the map. You can go to the location as well. Right click on the map. You don't have to necessarily be far away. Quick waypoint, I'll cover in a second. But let's go to save waypoint, and it pulls up all these icons here. So it's helpful to use the icon to describe, what you're, marking. So I'll click on that, and I'm going to go LEAD, lead. The problem though is I have lead already marked on the map. So you can go into this box here and sort or search for how many leads you have, because you might have multiple. So I'm going to call this lead 4. Oops. There we go. Lead 4. So now, notice, I don't know why it does that, but let's go ahead and type in lead again. So there's lead 4. And for some reason, it's sorting weird. Oh, it's sorting by distance from the player, I think, is what it's doing here. So now that that's set here, you can go and find the lead. Now, when you're at the mining op, you might find other resources within that mine. You're like, oh, I got coal here. Oh, I got nitrate. Oh, I got iron. You can, while you're there, what you can do is you can remove the waypoint. That's how you get rid of it. And then right click again, save waypoint, mining, and I'm gonna go lead 4, but then you can go iron. Say, just add more information there. You can even maybe shorten it for I. Maybe you find some nitrate for N. So you can use the map to detail what's at that location, so that let's say you're running around and you're like, oh, I need more lead, I'm gonna get more lead cooking. Oh, this is a lead mine over here, but it also has this stuff, so it makes it easier for you to figure out what's going on. And then you can use this feature here to sort and find the closest mine to you, and then you can run over there and get it. Now there is a quick waypoint which I have marked on the map. Let me find out where. There it is, right there. There's a POI that I wanted to go to and check out. And let's go to our map. And map. There we go. And so the character is facing this way here. And there it is, right there. Okay. So this is a big house I wanted to check out. And so I'll showcase this. So I just want to go there, clear it out. And when I'm done with it, I'll put an X on it to indicate that I've cleared it. So you click on quick waypoint, and what that does is it adds it up here as a quick waypoint, puts a red flag on the map, so you have that on on your HUD now up above. So we go on the map here. Let's go down. When you want to let's say I clear this now and I want to get rid of it and put an X on it. This is how you remove that quick waypoint. So over here you have to click on the entry and then delete, remove waypoint here. And then you can also, I'll cover this in a second, but, and so yeah, removing the quick waypoint is here. And I don't know, cursor position, there's the bed. Okay, there, yeah, okay. So when you click on this, which is kind of annoying, what is this? Switch to static map view, oh, okay. Yeah, for some reason you can't click on this to go there. I wish you could, but you can't. This is multiplayer stuff here. Now, let's say I want to mine that some lead, and I want to go to lead 4. What you can do is hit the track waypoint. Puts a check mark here, and let's see, that's a drop. There it is. So I am 584.2 meters away from that checkpoint. Pressing map again, you can see here it is. Now you can also click on the show on map and it jumps you to there. That's why I wish they had that feature here as well for the quick waypoints. But the only thing you can do is just kind of look and while you're in your character view there, you'll find the quick waypoint that way. So it makes it yellow on the map as well, and you can track it. So in order to remove that, we can just go click on the lead 4 and toggle it off. So that's a very helpful way to manage your mining operations, because it gets really confusing and frustrating when you're trying to get all those resources to get ready for Horde Night. You're making ammo, you're doing concrete or whatever. So anything to minimize the amount of time you're managing your resources is always a good thing. All right, so let's go into the test save, and I'll show you a mining op. There's some tips I want to go over in regards to that as well. Alrighty, folks, I'm in my test save here, and you can see day 2. Let's cover some stuff here. I'll show you the character I have. Well, it's just a quick thing here. I got 1 point available. Oh, I think I'm at level 148. So what it is, I gave myself a bunch of points to do stuff in this save here, and you'll notice that strength is maxed. Pretty much everything is maxed here. So we have Motherload and Minor 69 are at level 5 and all that. Now, I don't want to start a new save. This is kind of where I just goof around and screw around, doing stuff like for thumbnails and whatnot. So one thing I wanted to mention here is Iron Gut, now that we're in the test save here. And we're going to, let's see. When you are doing the candies and the coffees, this is a really good perk to have for Horde Nights and mining and anything that requires candies or something that you can use to get buffs. So Leaky Gut, you'll notice here that on the bottom paragraph it says buffs from consumables last 10%, the last sentence there. And as you progress through, Iron Gut is 50%. And what that means is that, here's the Rockbuster candies. Duration is 6 minutes. On the coffee, it's 3. And the Blackstrap is 6. So that's why I like to use the Blackstrap with the Rockbusters, because it's 6 and 6. Otherwise, you'll have to drink 2 coffees to 1 Rockbuster to get the even, get it even. So let's go ahead and munch on our Rockbusters, and then we'll do a Blackstrap. You'll notice that it's 9 minutes versus 6. You can stack these. So we're at 8, and now we're at 13. We'll go ahead and do another one. And that's now, okay, that's all you can do, 13. Let's do a Rockbuster. That's 8 minutes, and now it is 17. I don't know. We could try. Let's see. This is why it's nice to have a test save. So 17, and now 26 minutes. There you go. So let's try another Blackstrap. That's 13, 17. There we go. So it's stacked even higher. So just keep that in mind. Now, these are the regular rocks that you're going to find out in the world here. So I don't have a vehicle. Oh, here's lead. Just so you know, I don't have a light on my character. Let me change the time here. There we go. We got 6 in the morning now, so at least we could see the light, or see things. So that's a lead node right there. One note about lead that I've noticed is it's really, oh, it's getting foggy now. It's really tough to get a lot of lead out of the ground. So just be mindful of that when you do mine lead. You want to have all of the perks you could possibly get early on. So let's go over this way, and I have, as you can see, 3 marked up here that I wanted to showcase. This is for new players who may not really know what they're looking for. This is iron right here. So you got this big rock with a little reddish color to it, which is actually what iron is. Some copper, usually games will put copper, make copper like a reddish orange. That's not correct. It's actually green, and iron is red. Okay, now we have a couple over here. Let's head this way. All right, up ahead here is a big stone outcropping, I guess you could say. And early on, these are perfect for when you have the stone axe. So you could sit up top here and beat on the rocks, beat on this rock, and the zombies, if they do hear you, they'll come over and they'll go, hey, what's that noise? You can stay up here, and it's a nice defensive area. Just mine it such that it's flat, all the way down, So now the zombies could eventually get up here, but you can, try to mine it out such that you can get up here and the zombies can't, you can notch it or whatever. So that's another thing that you want to look out for. I would say that you're better off mining this stone versus those other little stones like this one here, because you're running around trying to find these, and you'll see that we're getting 55 out of that one hit there. Whereas on these bigger stone ones, you can spend your time in one spot as opposed to running around. When you find one of these, that's 137, 274. So you can see that there's a lot more to be gained from the big stone mounds like that. All right, one more thing that I want to showcase is the coal and two more things. Nitrate and coal. So let's head over this way. All right, here's coal. Kind of obvious. It's a very dark colored rock thing on top. And then we've got nitrate, which I have, I think, over there somewhere. Let's go over there. All right, here is nitrate right here. It's got it's kind of a fuzzy looking white rock. And this, you'll need a lot of this going into mid game, into late game forever, because you got to make ammo. So you need nitrate powder and coal to make gunpowder, and then you use that along with bullet casings and lead. So bullet casings is brass. I'm not going to cover how to get brass in this tutorial. Brass cannot be mined. It can only be found in the world. So that's all I'm going to say about it right now. Okay, let's take this node off here. And now we're flat. And there's one thing about the resources in the game, what happens is they generate in a tunnel. So you tunnel down, and then they fan out in a kind of like a bottle. So let's go ahead and start smacking this out of here and show ya. Now remember that I had a ladder and wood with me, so I'm gonna spawn that in so we have it. But that's my setup. So you know, I need a headlight. All right, now we have light. So you see that we are going straight down. Oh, I got a challenge. What do you know? This goes straight down, and you get to a point where it'll start to fan out. And oh, another thing too is you can see that it gets kind of tough. And like here, you got to really look when you get down into the depths here. Okay, and then see right there, it's kind of continuing on. Here it is here. Yay, I got another challenge. And right here. Now that big clink noise is obviously the indicator. So now you'll notice that there's stuff below here, but now we're seeing it on the lead on the side here. And now we're at a point where it's gonna go sideways now. We're in the vein now. So we tunneled down to get to a vein. So let's go ahead and pop these out here. And oh, there's one more resource I wanted to showcase, which is the oil, shale oil. I think it's called shale oil. So we'll head out to the desert, and that'll be the end of the tutorial here. Now, what I wanted to talk about here is you want to mine in a pattern. You want to stay on the same level. As soon as you see that resource pop up on the side of the wall that you're going down, see how we're in a hole now? We can pop this out right here. Now the resource is in it's going to be going along. So this is the vein here. So what I want to do is find out where it's going. How far do we have to go before we run into another resource, or this resource here, the lead, is no longer spanning. Okay, another thing that I want to mention here before I go too crazy, and you can see that I popped a hole there. Now, the way 7 Days to Die works, it's a voxel-based, thing, or environment. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go soil, and I want to showcase this right here. And you'll see right away, this is how the voxel system is in 7 Days to Die. It is a diamond. See that? So when you, and I can fill in that little spot just to showcase that. So as you can see, this line right here, there's the back kind of straight wall there. And then there's an angle here as well. The stone is really tough to determine where you're at, but you'll see that when I hit there, it knocked this voxel out. Now if I hit here, I'm pulling the wall back now. So when you're mining, you want to mine this part, say for example. And again, this is late game. In early game, you're not going to want to waste time putzing around with, mining out all the sand, although you're going to need it for concrete later on. So now you can see that, you can see how, see, I'm going to hit here. Now notice how it made this jagged pattern. So I'm going to go over here and mine this up. And now it's back to being flat again. See? So you want to mine out in a pattern like that. Now, a big thing here that I got to mention is we are in the pine forest. So that means we're going to have soil, then clay, and then stone. And you're going to get a lot of stone. And it's a mixture of sand, soil, clay in the pine forest. When you go out to the desert, it's all sand. So this particular pattern that I'm doing right now, let's say I'm mining here. Let's get out this here a little bit. So I'm going to mine out until I get no more lead or I run into another resource, which you can do. As I mentioned before, you can you know, update your map to showcase, oh, I also have iron here, or I have nitrate and coal, or whatever. So you want to update your map with that information. But I could very well run into another resource here. That means, okay, that lead is ending and I'm getting into a new vein of something. So that means you've stopped. Now, I wanted to dig this out enough so you can see that on the ground here, you can track where the vein is going. So you can see it's here too. So we can bust this out a little bit here. And what I'm kind of looking for is, where does this end? And then I'll know what this vein is capable of, right? And with a high miner 69er and Motherload, with the Rockbuster candy and the coffee all stacked up, you can really just spend the time to figure out where things are going. And this is a really big lead mine here. This is crazy. So we could bust this out here. As you can see, like right here, I can pop this and this, and I'm getting back to a flattened area, you know. Now, once you get to a certain point, let's pop that out there. Okay, and this one here. So you can see the lead potentially is going into this rock over here. So let's pop that out. Get that out. Oh, that's more lead. Okay, cool. And we'll aim up to get this voxel out. And you can see kind of the lead is kind of stopping right here. We might have a little bit. Yep, here it's going over this way too. See? So when you reveal that, you know, one spot, you're like, oh, it's still going. It's still going. So you can spend a lot of time just trying to find out where it's going. And looking at my inventory, look at all the stone and the sand I'm getting out of it. Oh, also you get gold. And there's a perk book which increases your chances to get the gold and stuff. And that is a challenge to collect gold, diamond, and silver, which is kind of fun. But yeah, you can sell these. Here's a diamond. So you can sell these to the vendor. There's no use for them except money. So that's kind of nice. So you can see how this is shaping up. Now what you want to do is mine in this direction. You don't want to go, don't mine down into the ore, you know, or the resource until you're certain you have it all mapped out. I did this before in the past too, is you'll start mining this node like this, and you're missing out on all this ore that's around you. Now, when you deplete this section here, let's say this is all mined out over here, right? So let's go over here and pop that out. Let's say there's no more lead. Oh, this is the end. Now start to dig down another level. And then just pop this out here. And don't go down any further. See how now this is our new floor level. We'll pop this out here to showcase it a little more there. There's more lead. See? Look at that. Pop this out. That's soil that I put in. So we want to take the shovel and we can pop that soil out there. So always have your shovel hotbarred there. So now we'll pop that out. So now you can see I have a new floor, and this is the new voxel section that I'll be working towards. Now, another thing that I wanted to discuss here, and that is, oh, I don't have my turret, so let's go ahead and get one. All right, I got a junkie turret, and I got a level 6 here. So we're going to load. Oh, hold on a minute. What's this now? I grabbed robotic turret ammo. Why aren't you loading? Okay, looks like it's loaded. I don't know how it got ammo in there. I didn't put it in. So this is, I'm going to get some ladders here too. All right, let's talk about ladders. So when you get the blocks, this is for new players that may not know this. Press and hold R on keyboard. I don't know what it is for console. And you go to shapes here. So pressing and holding, mouse over shapes, release the R key, and then you'll get your basic shapes here. This is all the basic stuff here. Here is the ladder square. And then we want to rotate that. And you'll notice that it kind of runs into the soil there. So, but let's go ahead and place this here. And this is how we can get out. Now, the biggest problem with the ladders, especially in, like right here, I've got the resource. So, unfortunately, what you could do is push out more and then put your ladder in, but then you have to make your hole bigger. So, it's not always ideal, but what you want to do is upgrade this ladder, you know, once you get the, I'll get a hammer. So upgrade the hammer for sure. Hey, cool, I got another challenge there. Upgrade the ladder because you don't, they're very weak as it is. And So this is now 500 hit points. So you want to make sure that you upgrade it. So if a zombie does come by, they can't break it. And also when you're adding to it, it doesn't come toppling down on you as easily. It could still come toppling down on you though. So let's go ahead and, yeah, there we go. Now, you would think we could put the turret up here, right? So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So, let's say a zombie comes by. Here's me digging, and I'm down here. Well, it's good for now. But the deeper you go, the further you get away from the turret. So, it's not always a good idea to leave your turret up here. You can when you first start out. But what you want to do is bring it down here. And this is if you find it, make the ammo for it, and then use this for your mining. You can also use this for POIs and stuff too, which is kind of fun. I didn't know that laser was on there so bright. That's cool. So as you're mining here, let's say a zombie drops down. You know, you got your tools out. Ah, crap. I got to get my weapon out. You're freaking out, right? So get your gun out. While you're at it, jump behind your turret, take out the zombie. And then, if the turret hasn't by then, and then get back to your mining. So this junk turret is a really good option for saving your butt when you're down in a hole. Now, the last thing I want to mention here is this. Let's go ahead and grab our... Oh, we have our blocks there. So let's go ahead and press and hold R and shape. And we'll just go back to the normal cube. Once you dig out the hole here, you also should cover it to a certain degree. And we'll go ahead and upgrade it so, you know, it looks nice. Now, the reason you want to do this, there's two reasons here. One, the zombies have to work a little bit harder to get to you with the ladder. So they're going to be like, oh, I got to get on this ladder. And once they hop on it, oh, what happened there? Oh, there we go. Then they start working down to you. Okay, so it makes it a little hard. It kind of concentrates the zombies onto the ladder instead of them just dropping in on you. So that way you have time to kind of react to that, because you'll hear them first, and then you can kind of get ready for them. So a ladder helps. The other reason you want to cover this hole here is because you might be running around on your bicycle, your motorcycle, whatever, 4x4, or mini bike, and you don't want these holes sticking out. It'll be nighttime, and you'll be flying along, and all of a sudden you're in a hole with your mini bike. You don't want that, especially coming back from doing looting. So get in the habit of covering it up, at least for the most part. You can even go as far as to, you know, make it more difficult for the zombies by building up and, you know, around it. So you can go that far, you know, that way they can't get in. So what they're going to do is they're going to start beating on the walls, and you can make them cobblestone, concrete, whatever you want to do. I mean, concrete's really easy to get once you get to a certain point in the game. So you can actually concrete your mining shaft, I guess you could say. Now, let's go back down here. I wanted to mention this, and it's kind of tricky to get down. Let's grab these up here, and I'll go down. There we go. Yeah, I got to put the ladder up higher. Once you're in your mine, and even though I'm mining like this, here's what's happening in the pine forest biome. We have clay here. So I'm going to smack this here. You can see it's clay. In the desert, it's sand. So we have to take a different approach in the desert. And as opposed to going out there, well, I want to show you the shale oil stuff. So when you're mining in a sandy area, because you could have sand in the pine forest too. So what you want to do is reinforce the mine with blocks so that the mine doesn't come crashing down on your head. And it will, with sand, it will. So, and you also want to upgrade them to at least the first tier of stone. So, for example, I don't have anything to mine up in the top here. So what I want to do, let's make a bunch more of these here. So you want to make supports for your mine shaft, because it's going to be, you'll have an enormous eyesore on your map when you get to a certain point. So let's go ahead and do that in there. So, and then I can go here and just pick this out. Okay, so now I have this support here, and you can go as crazy as you want. You can, you know, support over here. behind here, maybe. And this also helps to support your ladder too if you wanted to put blocks behind there. That way, if you do dig down, for example, like let's say I dig this out here. Let's upgrade this block. So as you go further down, you can put a block behind your ladder like that. And then when you mine this piece out here, for example, what would happen is, well, potentially what will happen is the ladder might not be supported very well. So the whole thing will come tumbling down on you, at least to a certain point. So you can put these blocks in as you go down as well to support the back of the ladder and give it more strength. And then as you go down here, you got to be careful. You can dig this out a little bit. Now, it's still supported a little bit by the voxel. So let's go ahead and make some more blocks. So now as you dig, you can put these in here. So notice you can't put it here, obviously. So that's supported there. Now I feel comfortable enough to put a block here. Still can't do it. So let's go ahead and pop this one out right there. So it's still safe because it's kind of supported around it. So just be kind of mindful of how you're digging and make sure that you're supported very well. So yeah, I think that's good there. Yeah, so these are just tips. Now, you don't need to worry about supporting your mine as much in the pine forest biome, like I said, because we have clay. And if you mine in a very methodical pattern around in a circle like this, and then you mine down when you get to the end of the resource, for example, let's say this ends here, let's say the lead ends here, right? So we're done. We don't have to go down over there anymore. So now I'm going to start mining the new level, and then you extend your shaft down if you need to. All right, so let's go to the desert. I'll show you the shale oil, I think it's called. All right, here I am in the desert, and you can see right here, there's a little brown dot. They're very difficult to see in the desert. So let's walk up to that spot, and I think it's right here. There it is, right there. So that's your shale right there. So let's back up, and because it's such a pain to find shale in the desert. If you come here at night or in the daytime, it doesn't matter because it's very easy to find. So there it is right there. This faint dot. Now right there is, I think, iron. Right here is these two dots right there. So you can see how difficult it is to find. But just so you know what you're looking for, that's mainly why I'm here. Okay, so we'll pop this baby off. And I always get this wrong. It's oil shale. Yeah. Oil, then shale. There we go. So now if we pop this out, now one hit. Oh, baby. Shale oil is really quick to mine because it is weaker than the iron and obviously stone and all that stuff. Well, stone is pretty quick at this high level here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to mine straight down. And I want to demonstrate here. Okay, here we are. See? Okay, that's sand. Yeah, okay. We'll go down a little more. Yeah, sand, you need your shovel here for sure. Okay, yep, here we are. We'll pop this out. Okay, now we're at that level where the resource starts to fan out. And we have somebody who wants to come say hi. Okay, so now we're at this level where... Okay, this is stone down here. What do you want? I'm trying to do something here. Okay, I got this special gun right here. See ya. These are dev tools, by the way. I only use these in creative mode. Okay. Now, this is where you have to be careful. I'm still popping the... yeah, see how I'm... Notice over here I'm getting sand and stone. Yeah, so we're getting stone out of here, which is good. Sand is important for our concrete, obviously. So right here, we got sand. See that? So what's going to happen is this is going to collapse much quicker on you. So when you're out in the desert or you notice that you have sand in a mining op, you don't want to go too crazy before you start supporting the mine shaft, because it will come down on you, and, well, you don't want to die from a mining op. You want to die from a zombie, you know? So I think that should cover it. Ooh, look at all that shale down there. Oh, it's so delicious. So, yeah, there you go. So I think I covered everything about mining. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial here. You know, I've been playing this game for a long time, and the mining got better. I think Alpha 17, 18, it got really much better. The one thing to note is, again, lead is very tough to get. It's when you're mining it, it sprawls out a lot. And you can see with my high mining, and even use the candies for a little while. Look at this. That's all I've got. And then the shale, I've got 4,000 just from that little bit that I did. So be mindful that lead is really tough to get, you know, in high quantities. So you have to spend a lot more time mining lead. Now, another thing to note is the stone amount. Okay, so when you get to a certain point, you start, when you get to, what the hell? When you get to a certain point, you're gonna want, you're gonna be on steel. And you don't need the concrete as much. So you're just gonna end up pitching the stone. You might as well just get rid of it. Don't worry about it. Stone's important in the beginning, but when you get to end game, you can make steel blocks directly. So steel block right here, forge steel 10. When you get to when you finally are able to forge steel and make it in mass, just make the blocks directly to repair your base. When you're building your base, you might want to start with you know, the wood frames and upgrade it to kind of see where you want to go. But then when you're ready, when you got a design down, just go with steel blocks, dig a foundation, put the blocks in and build, you know. And this saves time. You don't want to spend your time upgrading your base from a wood block to wood, then to cobble, then to concrete, then to steel. It takes a lot of time and resources too. It's very resource intensive. A wood block is 2. To upgrade it, it's 10 for a total of 12. Then you have cobblestone, which is stone and clay. And then you have concrete, which is a whole nother process there. And then you have the steel, of course, which is another process. So just go straight to forge steel blocks when you get to that point. The same thing with concrete. Just mix the concrete and build the block from your inventory or from a workbench. So that'll help you out and save some time. And it also helps save on mining, you know, and harvesting wood, mining ores and wood. It's all about time management. The more time you can shave off a process, the better, especially when you're playing on harder settings. And the clock is your biggest enemy in 7 Days to Die. The zombies aren't that big. The zombies aren't that big of an enemy. It's the time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. And yeah, go build your base. Quit mining. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.